Jordan Dickson and Jordan Hayes. Jordan's, how's it going?
It's going absolutely great. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about you, Jordan?
It's a great day.
All right. So you both are members of the baseball team. I know that the season's in the spring, but I'm guessing season prep's going on right now. How's that going so far?
So far, it's going really well. We started off our year with our just a bunch of training individually, and now we've gotten into our team practices with coaches, and that's coming down to the end. But right now, we're really excited, and we have a really good outlook on how we're going to look in the spring.
Yeah, I would say things have been all hands on deck pretty much from the upperclassmen all the way down to the freshmen. We've got a really great group of hardworking guys, and we've just been getting after it this whole fall.
All right. And you obviously are a student athlete, so a student is involved in that as well. What's the hardest part of juggling being a student and being an athlete here at Marymount University?
I'm just going to go with the obvious is just the workload is obviously a lot more than what a typical student has to go through, and especially right now in our fall season, we have to juggle practice times. We got guys leaving practice early, coming in late, and having to really juggle your practice time when you need to get your schoolwork done, and even juggling things like needing to eat. Because sometimes not eating is something that gets lost in translation because you got so many more important things that you think you need to worry on.
Absolutely. To piggyback off of what he said, I think time management is one of the biggest things that every student athlete has to deal with, and that includes, like he said, leaving practice early for classes some days and getting that extra meal in, but also managing your sleep schedule because your body has to function off a certain amount of sleep, and you need the proper nutrients and hydration to go along with that. So absolutely.
All right. And so last year, maybe not the best of starts, 0-6 in season. You guys picked it up, made it to the playoffs, but how tough is that to start off the season slow like that?
Well, the thing is, we started off non-conference 11-0, getting votes in the top 25, and then we hit the conference play and just hit a huge skid. But seeing how our teammates rallied around that and really just realized, okay, it's time to go. So really taking that momentum after that skid and taking it into the playoffs was really enjoyable to see how our teammates can respond to adversity, because realistically every good team has to face adversity at some point. So it's good that we have a bunch of guys that have felt that kind of adversity already.
Right, absolutely. I'd say that you really don't know how good you are as a team until you've, taken that downward turn and you've been at the bottom and just experienced that sort of loss with each other. That really motivates everybody to come together and get back up. So definitely trying to rebound from that was a little bit of a struggle, kind of took a damper in our season a little bit, and I definitely wish that, we could have had a better outturn than that. But, at the end of the day, I think it made us better in the long run and just motivated us.
Yeah, and so 2 years ago, you guys brought home the Atlantic East Championship. Is that the goal this year as well?
Of course, and we want to we've already tasted what it feels like to win. So now our outlook is always win the AEC and try to get to a regional. That's our big goal, is try to just get deep into the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. I'd say winning the conference is step one in our long-term journey of winning the national championship, but it takes those small conference games and the little adjustments we have to make to win every one of those. So ultimately, if we continue to work hard enough and put the right plans into action, then I think the AEC should be ours.
Who would you guys say your biggest rival is?
I'd say, without a doubt, it's probably Immaculata, only because 2 years ago we beat Immaculata on our home field and they watched us celebrate. And then last year we played them in the championship on their field, and they beat us, and we got to watch them celebrate. So it's kind of that back and forth right now between which team's going to take over the AEC. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say our relationship with Immaculata is like watching two, prime heavyweight boxers just go back and forth. It's just, guys are going blow for blow, and it's really, really tough to watch because we have two really talented and passionate teams, and obviously we all want to win, but there can only be, one top dog. So, we're gonna bring that championship home this year.
So I know you guys are planning to, if enough money is raised, to have a trip to Florida. How important is that to build sort of team morale and team companionship?
I think it's very important because, when you got new guys that have never experienced that trip to Florida, it's hard to really get them on board to, ask for money, ask for donations. But the guys that have already been on that trip and know how much fun it is and how much bonding you get on that trip, that motivation alone is what fuels 48 guys to go out and fundraise, and that's why we do a pretty good job every year of fundraising for that, just because most of the team has that experience already.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say, coming from the perspective of my freshman year, we didn't get to take the Florida trip because COVID was still a very prominent issue. Last year, being able to enjoy that with my teammates was definitely huge for me. Having roommates who I'm not used to. I'm living with upperclassmen for a week and just, getting to learn through them, but also enjoy their time and, you know, just enjoy their presence. I think it was massive for team bonding. And after that, I'm pretty sure we went on a little run there with wins. And so I think it just brings everybody together, and it's a wonderful time.
All right. Any last message for anyone who might be watching and thinking about donating?
I'm just going to talk to, you know, any alumni that are from the baseball program or any sport alumni. You know how we go through as athletes at Marymount, and how, especially baseball or any sport that has to travel off campus. You know that we don't have the traditional student athlete life, and throughout my years at Marymount, we've progressively gotten better and better with supplying athletes with any other things, and any little donation that you can have to help us out and continue that gradual growth is going to help out the seniors now and the freshmen to come. So that's what I got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to ask the alumni to think back to, you know, when you were a student at Marymount and how wonderful your experience was here, and, you know, how impactful the athletics program was. And I would just ask that, you know, you continue to pass that along to the new generation of students so we can keep building and progressing forward and forward.